Hey everybody, Aaliyah here. We are going to be talking about Law of Attraction Abraham Hicks style. So if you're a big Abraham Hicks fan or like personal development or like Law of Attraction or like figuring out your power to manifest things, you are in the right spot. So today we are going to be talking about using Law of Attraction to influence other people. We've got 3 Abraham Hicks quotes to help guide the conversation. And here is the summary. Number 1 is we are going to pull out the best in people rather than demand. Number 2, we cannot fix weaknesses. We can only help them reconnect. And number 3 is solution energy is positive emotion. So let's dive into the first quote and get going. Okay, Abraham Hicks says, to evoke the best from others, you must find a vibration that is a match to the best in others. All right, we've all been here. I still go through this, right? We're going through life and there's somebody we care about usually, right? Maybe it is a mother or a sibling or a friend or a family friend or, I don't know, coworker, right? And we know they got more in them. We just are aware that maybe they're making some decisions and they're in a tricky situation and we really want them to be on the path that we are on. We really want them to be living these thriving lives. So a lot of the times can you feel how the starting point of this conversation is we want something from somebody else, and already this desire is stemming from the awareness that they are not doing something or the awareness that they're stuck. And so right off the bat in this conversation, even though we all do it, we are, as we always do, are stemming from lack energy. So that's the first thing that we want to identify. Normal people from here do things like say, hey, you should really do this. Hey, you should really learn law of attraction. Hey, you should really be positive. Hey, there's a lot of things you could be doing. But all of these things that we're saying you could be doing these things because you're not doing them. And when the energetic basis of what we say to people is you are not doing things, then even though our words may sound helpful, pointing them in the direction of something that helped us, the energetic basis of this is you're not doing things and so you need to fix something now. So all of these conversations, they're super well-meaning. We love these people. We love ourselves. We're generally really positive and we want the best for others. But law of attraction, when you're adding in influencing other people and you really want to help inspire people to change, this is another dimension that follows the same rules. So we can't now just be aware of what they're not doing and manifest them doing something different. So what does the tip say here? We must find a vibration that is a match to the best in others. So what that means is if we want to manifest more of the best from our friends, our loved ones, we have to find what in them is already beautiful, what in them is already vibrating at the best. What do we know about them? What do we know about them that reminds us that they can be these thriving human beings? And so we need to then realize that, okay, that vibration in them is love and is fun and is accomplishment. It is them smiling. It is them loving. It is us remembering when they were at their absolute best or imagining what it would look like if they were at their best. And then we have to align with that energy. So we have to go back in time or into the future and get aligned with that energy, not the energy of us being aware right now that they're not doing something. They're not feeling great. They're not doing as well as they could. So what does that actually look like? That could look like a friend who used to do something amazing and is now not doing something amazing. So we go back in time and we start putting a lot of attention on, remember how it felt to be amazing? You were so amazing at this point. What could we do that would help us feel amazing? And shining our light on the part of that person that is amazing. And so this can be tricky when you say, but Aaliyah, we got to talk about these other details. This is what's going on. Law of attraction says, no, it doesn't work that way. Law of attraction is always saying like energy is attracting like energy. So if we are shining the light on them that they are not doing something, then we are going to be manifesting the continuation of them not doing it if what we're saying is stemming from us wanting them to do something different. So this tip is really about pulling out the best in other people by knowing that they have the best. So being able to even just sit with somebody and not say a word, but in your mind say, I know you're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing. And not getting sucked into the story that says otherwise, right? So if you're sitting with somebody and they're talking about all these things and you're saying, wow, that's tricky, that's really hard, I can't believe this happened to you, you're joining that problem energy. So as that person to pull out the best in other people, we say things like, I know you got this. I've seen you crush this before. I've seen you do amazing things before. I know you've got beauty inside of you. I know that you got this. I'm just not worried about you. I know this might look tricky, but I know that you got it. I know the grass is greener on the other side of this thing. And now this is about taking a deep breath, figuring out where in life do we feel really good right now, and fostering that. And so pulling out the best in people is refusing to see anything other than the best in them. So let's move on to tip number 2. We cannot fix weaknesses. We can only help people reconnect. So here's the quote. Abe's talking like this. We cannot focus upon the weakness of another and evoke strengths. We kind of just talked about this, but the quote goes on. You cannot focus upon the things that you think they are doing wrong and evoke things that will make you feel better. You've got to beat the drum that makes you feel good when you beat it. And when you do, you will be a strong signal of influence that will help them reconnect to who they are. I love this because it's just taking the last quote another step forward, right? We cannot fix the weaknesses, we can help them reconnect. So let's talk about this a little bit more in detail. We cannot fix these things. So I've been through a lot with my body and my life and my businesses. I've been using law of attraction hardcore as the core strategy for my life for 10 years and I've applied it to everything. So I've got more tips than you can imagine. I got weight loss tips. I've got business tips, like the actual things you do. But when I am working with people, when I'm working with my clients, when I'm working with my students, I don't sit down and say, hey, you should stop eating gluten. You should do intermittent fasting. These things really work because these things are essentially the fixes, the inspired actions that I got when I aligned my energy. So when we're talking about fixing people, we must realize that fixing people, helping people is not about giving them the tips that work for you, but encouraging them on an energy alignment pathway so they can find the solutions by themselves. Now, I've got to admit, I don't always hold back my tips, but I usually preface it with, okay, this is not exactly law of attraction, but this is what I did, literally. And maybe that helps somebody or maybe not. But there is a difference between telling somebody something that worked for you and then helping them connect to their energy. So let's realize this is about helping. If we want to influence people, we want them to act their best because that is also good for us. Then we want to help them reconnect. And we can't do it by focusing on their weaknesses. So if we got a partner and they're totally annoying us for whatever reason, or a friend or a coworker or a boss, and we really want them to change something, no matter how much we focus on asking them to change the thing, it doesn't work because now we are energetically activating the thing we want changed, which means we are manifesting, which means we are gluing it to ourselves, which means we are making it impossible, actually impossible for them to do anything different. So if we are focusing on things that they are doing wrong, we will never even feel better. So what do we actually do? Oh man, this is the hardest part, right? We have to let go of that stuff. We have to realize logically, if we believe in law of attraction, okay, I know I want to tell this person to do something different. I know I want them to, I know if they did A, B, and C, I would feel better. But I also realize that energetically that doesn't make sense. So Abraham's telling me that I have to beat the drum that makes me feel good when I beat it, right? So now we're going to take back that power. We're going to take back that influence. We're going to take back this essence of, okay, I am going to just be responsible for myself. I am going to figure out how to feel good right now. I'm going to do this loudly. I'm going to do this strongly. I'm going to do this passionately. I'm going to feel good relentlessly. Because when we do that, now we are emanating good vibes. Now we're emanating good energy. Now we're emanating the best of ourselves. And that makes us a very strong signal. That's what Abraham is the language, right? That if we are owning feeling good, we're doing that, then we are sending out a signal to the universe, other people. We are like this magnet to attract this energy to us. And so sometimes that means somebody new comes into our life. But a lot of the times it means that we're then getting the best out of the people who are around us already. And when we do that, when we relentlessly decide that our alignment, our good vibes, our positivity is number one priority, and we stop shining our light on the problems of other people or the weaknesses of other people, then these people show up with their best as well. Now, is this a magic trick? Can you like take 5 deep breaths and like go, be positive for 2 minutes when you've just maybe been through 5 years with somebody? Likely not, because we need to build up a momentum. If you've been going very fast in one direction, if you've been doing a lot of one thing, we have to slow that train down. We have to bring the momentum you have to a stop and then slowly build it up in the other direction so you can build a momentum doing the other things. So this is not a magic trick, this is a practice, but one very, very, very worthwhile to get good. So again, we don't want to be fixing people. We don't want to be shining our light on their problems. Even with my years of experience of law of attraction, sometimes I'm really like, man, maybe just this one time I can ask somebody to be different. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. We have to be able to turn our own attention into any direction that makes us feel good. But that does actually require us to then sit back and say, well, what makes me feel good? And sometimes that is actually the problem here. We don't know what's going to make us feel good. We haven't thought about it in a long time. We haven't given ourselves permission. We have no idea what is exciting enough to finally forget about this other aspect in our life that is annoying the hell out of us. So this is going to be an internal work to be like, hey man, what's it going to take? What can be so exciting, so fascinating, so juicy in another direction that is just way better to look in that direction than to look at what you got. And if you don't know, then that's the work. Then that's the work. The other person, you can just let them off the hook. You can just let them be and do whatever they want to do, because nothing can really happen until you have something cool enough, exciting enough to anchor your attention to. So it's easy to not pay attention to them. This is really key stuff, you guys. So I hope you are digesting this. All right, let's dive into tip number 3. Solution energy is a positive emotion. Here's the quote. If you intend to be of assistance, your eye is not upon the trouble, but upon the assistance. 2 different things, right? Trouble, assistance. And that is quite different. When you are looking for a solution, you are feeling positive emotion. When you're looking at a problem, you're feeling negative emotion. There's the indicator. You're doing energy work, you're trying to do things, you're not really sure what's going on, and so you want to check in, what's my energy? Well, are you feeling positive emotion or negative emotion? If you are feeling negative emotion, you are looking at a problem. And if you're looking at a problem, you're manifesting a problem. I don't know how to say it more simply than that. If you're feeling a negative emotion, you're looking at a problem and therefore manifesting a problem. Shit, man, that's it. That's the whole thing, right? So if we're in problem energy, we stay there. We don't want that, right? We want to be grooving. So how do we test it? If I'm feeling positive emotion, I am looking for a solution. And if I am looking for a solution, then I am manifesting the solution. So once again, it's going to boil down to, if you're feeling positive emotions, you are manifesting positive things. Yay, right? So when we apply this to influencing other people, if we are dealing with something with somebody, if we are trying to get somebody to do something, and we are going to write them a letter, we're going to send them a text, we're going to have a conversation about it, and we want to ask them for something, or we want to brainstorm with them, we can look at ourselves and say, how am I feeling right now? If I am feeling a low emotion, if I am not feeling fantastic, I don't trust anything that I think of. Nothing. It's all out the window, even if it might sound smart. And when I'm feeling fantastic and I'm feeling on fire, I've been listening to some music, I did some energy work, and I'm just kind of totally jamming, totally grooving, then I trust any idea that comes to my mind, any idea. If I want to text somebody, I don't second guess it because I know that anything that is inspired from me feeling really, really good, I just don't care what the maybe immediate reaction from somebody is because I know on a larger scale that this energy of mine is manifesting more of this good vibe. And so the rest of the details just don't matter. So you're interacting with somebody, you want them to do something. Coming back full circle of this, checking our emotion. If you're feeling a little nervous, that's negativity, right? If you're feeling excited, that's positivity. If you're feeling scared, that's negativity. So if you're feeling any sort of negative emotion, then really don't talk to them. Don't do anything because if you're feeling that negative emotion, then any action, any words you take from there, any energy you're putting out there is going to be manifesting more negativity. And so if we want somebody to do something, we got to be able to ask them for that. We got to be able to communicate. We want to pull out the best of them. And that can only happen if we approach them when we are rock solid, feeling really, really good. Woo, all right, so those are our 3 juicy tips to influence other people with law of attraction. Remember, everybody, this law of attraction, life with law of attraction, you can have the stuff. You can have the money, the houses, the job. You can have the juicy relationships. You can have all of that. But it's also going to just boil down to you being a loving person. That's who we are. We are beings who love. And when we are loving and we are emitting that positivity, we feel great. And when we are not, we don't feel good. And so being on the path of law of attraction can look very materialistic, but please remember, this is about ultimately coming back to the fact that when we are loving, we feel good and we manifest whatever we want. It's like this crazy win-win-win situation. So practice this stuff because it feels good for you, it feels good for other people. And when you're feeling good, you absolutely 100% are manifesting the best out of others. And people who are on the fence tip over and come on your side. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So with lots of love and light, big hugs and kisses to you all. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is a big invitation to subscribe and like the video too. I should have said that earlier in the video. If you are into all of this stuff, then pay attention for my weekly videos. I think there's a bell next to the subscribe button, and then you'll get a notification when I post pretty much on a weekly basis. I travel a lot, so I do miss some weeks. And follow along. I will also link in the bottom another good follow-up video. I forgot to choose one again. I'm always trying to think of, I should tell them a specific video to watch. And of course I forgot it. So look down there, click the see more in the about, and I'm gonna pick out a very juicy next video for you to watch that's relevant to this one. So have a great week and I will see you guys later.